All right, welcome to this is a special little video, basically commemorating the 350th episode. I'm 350 episodes into the series, and basically one third of the way through. So we've got 1,100 episodes, 350, 350, 350, essentially. Math ain't my strong suit, but we're essentially a third of the way through the series. So here's the thing. I wanted to do something special for that. I was going to wait to do this for the 500th episode. But it's obvious to me now I'm not going to have time to reread Journey to the West. It's 2,000 pages. Like, I'm just not going to have time. I read it when I was a kid, long, 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 long time ago. It's not going to happen, and, it's not going to happen in the next 150 episodes. So I might as well do this here. So just know that we're going on. Basically, I refreshed myself with a couple details, but I'm no expert on this novel. This story. If I get anything wrong, whatever. Like, we're just having fun here. This isn't like you didn't pay tuition to hear me talk about this novel. But it's been obvious for a long time. I can't remember when I first noticed that the Journey to the West was a clear inspiration for this story. One Piece. Probably somewhere around the 100th episode, I was like, wait a minute, Monkey D. Luffy, what? And then it started to click into place, right? Okay, this is what we're doing. Right. Well, where we started, I feel like it was a jumping off point. It was a starting point. For a long time, I thought that if I could reread Journey to the West, get to the end of it, and it would maybe shed some light on how One Piece is going to end. Like, you could kind of like how people have been diving into George R. R. Martin's other novels and other stories to try to figure out how he's going to finish A Song of Ice and Fire. And Preston Jacobs has done a lot of work on that. And so he's got some ideas based on George R. R. Martin's other work, right? This is a little different because the author didn't write Journey to the West; he just was inspired by it. But I still wondered, could some of his ideas for the ending come from Journey to the West? I don't know, because basically it did just get knowledge and come back. And of course, it's the Journey to the West is about religion. This series is not about religion. So I just wonder if it was a jumping off point, an inspirational point, a starting point, not an end point. So I no longer believe that like we can get to the end of Journey to the West and then glean anything about what's going to happen to the end of this story. I don't think so. But I do think it'd be fun to just do a little something. This is an extra video. It's not a reaction. You can skip it if you want to. Let's see if we can figure out who the five main characters from Journey to the West inspired in One Piece. So that's what we're going to do right now. Now, this first one's wicked obvious. Obviously. Monkey D. Luffy. Monkey. Overpowered. Immortal. Chaotic. Impulsive. Come the hell on. Come on. Like, that could not be more clear. That was what made me think of it in the first place. Like, it's super obvious. So, okay. So that's what we're doing there. But for the rest of them, what I had to do is, okay, you see which element the five characters represent. So, that didn't really help me very much. Wood, I mean, there's nothing really wooden or anything about Luffy. So I don't know that the element they represent had anything to do with the character that was inspired by the One Piece character that was inspired by the West character. So then I had to go, okay, so what are they looking for? It's something like I'm not quite sure I've nailed down what I think Sandy and Dragon Horse are looking for. I came up with peace for Sandy because Sandy had the curse. Like these swords, what is it, 7 or 11? There's a certain number of swords that come down every day, and he's basically being punished for all eternity, right? So, peace from punishment. And as far as Dragon Horse, what did he want? It's a little unclear, at least from my memory. I think just to serve was what I came up with. Like I said, I'm no expert. I couldn't teach a course in this, but that's why I think it was. The other two are pretty clear, right? Trip was looking for knowledge. You're going to bring the scrolls back and spread Buddhism, right? Like, so Trip is looking for knowledge. Pigsy, of course, is looking for putang. Uh, Women essentially, and you can see how like honing in on that will allow us to see who inspired who. Well, I mean, who do you think Pigsy inspired? Always look for Pootain going crazy, getting reckless when women are around. Gee, I wonder who Pigsy represents. So, again, this one was easy. Now we start getting a little more difficult. Okay. Dragon Horse. Shapeshifter. Started off as an animal. Lives to serve. Feels like Chopper to me, you know. I was originally just going to do the original 5, right? But somebody just told me in a comment recently that the author had the entire crew in mind, and only a couple things have changed. Like there was a skeleton, like he had a drawing of the final crew, right? The skeleton was always there. There were a couple people who were there in that original drawing who have never showed up. So some changes were made. But for the most part, he had his ideas already written out. Like so, but originally it was just going to be I was going to draw from Luffy, Nami, Zoro, Sanji, and Usopp in 5, right? 5 and 5 kind of made sense. But considering how soon Chopper joined the crew and was probably already crystallized in the author's brain from the beginning, so I think that's where the inspiration came from. So I'm saying that Chopper is Dragon Horse. Alrighty, now we've got Sandy. Was a warrior. Not the best warrior of the crew, but was a warrior. So feels like Zoro. But the problem is, am I right about the character seeking peace? And does that matter? You know, does that disqualify Zoro? Because I don't think that's what Zoro's looking for. That's just my interpretation. The author's interpretation of what Sandy's looking for could be something completely different. So I'm going to put Zoro here. Which leaves us with Trip, seeking knowledge. Kind of feel, when we get to the end of the story, I think the character inspired, that Trip inspired, will have knowledge and bring that back to the rest of the people. Now, this is not a religious story, so the knowledge won't be religion. I think the knowledge will be the geography of the world. So this is clearly Nami. I feel pretty good about 4 of these. I'm not sure about Sandy and Zoro. Pixie is clearly Sanji. Monkey is clearly Luffy. I mean, it could not be more obvious. Dragon Horse is clearly Chopper. Yeah, I just noticed that they autocorrected out of Nami's name. Kiss my ass. Stop it. But I'm not 100% on Zoro. Could that be Usopp? If you look at some of the drawings and stuff inspired by the story, there's a lot of masks involved. I feel like there's a strong possibility it could be Usopp. And I think Sandy used a staff too, which Usopp kind of uses a staff, even though it's kind of like a slingshot thing, right? That's my debate. Is Usopp the better character to put there? But here's the thing, there's these characters are such badasses in Journey to the West. Zoro has to be in there somewhere. We're talking about some badass fighter, right? So I wonder if there's like a secondary or recurring character, somebody else who's with the crew for a while and then drops off, that Zoro would be. I don't know. But Zoro's such a strong character. It feels like he should be in here. That's why I feel like I'm missing something here, right? I wonder if Zoro would somehow be the Dragon Horse. Even though Dragon Horse feels like it's perfect for Chopper. And then we would have Usopp with at Sandy. I don't know. Like I said, we're just having fun here. It's just a debate. So I'm going to leave this as it is, and I'm very curious to know what you think. Who would you put where? If we're just dealing with the 5, and can you think of a 6th character who would fit basically the missing person? And I wonder if there are more characters that eventually fit Brooke and Frankie and Robin, right? But yeah, let me know what you think. Like I said, just a little extra bonus video to commemorate 350. And as I record this, I'm just a few away from 400. That's why I was like, well, I guess I better get my ass going on 350. Because now I got to think about what video I'm going to do for 400. I don't know. At some point, I'm going to do a tier ranking. Because they have those tier ranking websites you can go to. But they don't have anything that, it's got spoilers in them, right? They don't have one, okay, only the first 300 episodes of One Piece, or only the first 400 episodes. They don't have that stuff. So that's annoying. But they should. It should be categorized. But I think they just assume everybody's caught up. So I don't know.